The Square Ball Podcast.
Well, hello to you and welcome to the show. This is available on YouTube and in your podcast app as well. A show that is brought to you in association with Levi Solicitors. We thank them for their support throughout 2024. Coming up towards the end of the year now. It's getting towards Christmas, Michael.
It's a time of year we give thanks.
Yeah.
To Levi Solicitors.
Specifically.
All across the land. London and Leeds, where they've got their offices in particular.
They've got an office. Well, I say it's an office. It's more like a website, which is like a virtual office.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can pop into or onto that and get a 10% discount on everything on their range of legal services. 10% discount on your legal fees. Full details and terms are on the website, levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. If somebody wanted to pop on there and just get something nice just for Christmas, what you recommended?
They're looking for something for themselves or for their business.
Could be either.
If you gave something for your business, you'd probably be looking at like a commercial property dispute, potentially something like that, licensing, commercial dispute resolution, that sort of stuff.
All the fun stuff.
It's the real gold, frankincense and myrrh, isn't it?
Very much so.
Podcast.
They are very much the big three of Christmas. Gold, frankincense and myrrh.
That's true, actually. Yeah. Well, what about the wise men? They've got to have a say in it.
There could be more. There could be three big threes.
It's multiplication then, though. You can't cube the big three.
Right.
I was going to say we could be the wise men, but I think that last sentence has proved otherwise.
It's abundantly clear that we're not. Dan with Michael, with Rob. As we preview Oxford, before we do preview Oxford, by the way, an important update. For anybody who caught propaganda earlier this week, I think it's been the hot buzz, the hot chat around Leeds has been nothing but Bernie Slaven.
Bernie Slaven, big hair chat. We had discussion of his showing his arse in a window. You wanted to see a bit more of it. He said it was unfair that he'd kept it PG, essentially.
Yeah.
But we've had an update from someone on YouTube who's called Grith 1983. Says, I remember when Bernie Slaven was on local radio for Borough when I was growing up. He came into our school to teach some soccer skills. He talked about being on your toes. He rasped a shot at our year 8 keeper and broke his hand. Then was shouting to get back on your feet quicker. Well,
Bernie Slaven broke a child's hand
and then shouted at him.
Good advice.
Back on your feet.
It's a shame Dean's not
I'm
here.
going to break the other one.
I was going to say it's a shame Dean's not here because do you remember when he recounted the story of when he went in goals?
Yes.
Was that his school team or just his junior team or whatever and broke both his wrists, saving 2 separate shots? Maybe Dean was that child.
That would be a hell of a plot twist.
If he'd gone to school in the Teesside area when Bernie Slaven was in that neck of the woods, which he seems to still be.
Unless Bernie was willing to travel to break children's wrists. He'd already, schools in the local area got wise to it. He's ringing a bit further south.
Cast the net a bit wider.
Oh, I've played for Borough. You can come in if you want.
Yeah.
Just tears everywhere as he goes around volleying the ball at children.
Pumping it up really menacingly, really firm.
A mitre multi-mould.
Right, let's preview Oxford then. We've just about 10 minutes ago heard the end of Daniel Farke's press conference. Rob, you were listening to it so closely.
You've heard them all, haven't you? It was the first question because it wasn't who's injured, which is basically the only function of these press conferences. I was like, I'm off to get a hot chocolate because it's going to last a while, isn't it? But yeah, it was fine, wasn't it? I think Farke just said the things that all managers say.
Yeah,
which I don't hold against him. It's fine. It's better than when Marsh used to talk and within 2 questions I'd be banging my head against the wall. I just think, let the man say the boring things and we can all get on with our lives.
But yeah, so what was the thrust of this one then?
Important bits. Stroke. Pascal has not been training and he'll need to train before he can play. And it's 50-50 apparently. Max Verber is injured. He's got a bad knee and he's unlikely to play. But that was really it.
Is it just a coincidence that Max Verber plays a few games for Leeds, gets his name in reports linking him with moves back to Red Bull Salzburg, and then gets injured again?
Could be. Although there was
like a wild coincidence to
cold
me.
water was poured on these transfer suggestions, I did see. In the TSB Daily email, I read about this.
Yes, I think I might have wrote about it, so I should probably remember what was said. What was said? Oh, the sporting director sort of ruled out the move for him, saying that Leeds want too much money, basically, because he's contracted to them, which does apparently matter.
Hey, Red Bull, have you met my friend Red Bull?
There is that. element to it. There was also another story saying Max Ferber has realised that if Leeds were to get promoted, his salary essentially gets doubled again, which might be more of a motivating factor for him to stick around, which is fair enough.
The injury to Strauch, he tends to drop at least one of these in every week, doesn't he, about a player who's injured, suggests they're a doubt. It's normally one of the major players, and they're basically always there.
Yeah,
I'm not saying him is a liar.
He probably will play. That was my instinct on it as well.
Yeah.
And he said, I guess the obvious replacement for him would be Ampadu, and he did say that Ampadu was improving on a daily basis, but we need to be patient. There's no need to rush him back.
I was half wondering the other day if Farke might try turn Ampadu into this season's Archie Gray. You know, he's played right back the last couple of games. Which you do sort of think he's coming back from injury. We don't have much depth there at the minute. But I sort of think if Bogle is also, I think he's had fitness issues recently. And with the midfield playing really well, part of me wonders if Ampadu might suddenly be a right back now. I don't think he will, but...
You heard it here first if he is, though.
Well, there you go. I've
That's
called it.
Thing. Wants to finish the year in style, says Farke.
Apparently so.
Managerial change at Oxford makes it a little bit harder to prepare because you're not quite sure what the caretaker will do. Is it still a caretaker they've got?
Yes. Rowett is the favourite, albeit I saw today there were reports linking John Terry with the job.
Oh, wow.
So it depends how much they want to fuck things up, really.
I don't think John Terry would fancy that, would he? That interview he gave a while ago was suggesting he thought he should be walking into like a...
What, you want to interview me? It's me.
Exactly. Should just be able to ring up a top 6, top 8 club and be like, it's me, John Terry. When do you want me to start? It's 200 grand a week. Thank you very much.
See, what we've done here is rather than preview Oxford, we're just digging out people we don't like.
Yeah, we've got Jesse Marsh, John Terry.
Gary Rowett said that thing about the odds before the Bielsa game.
Who've Coventry got this weekend?
Oxford made me sad when I was a child. Yep. Beating us in the cup. So they can fuck off.
We have a blog on the website by Will Almond about the last league game we played against Oxford, which was in 1990, and it's famous for the Flying Leeds fan.
Of course.
Celebrating the goal.
Yeah, I can still, I didn't go to that game, but I can still remember where I was when I found out the score, roaming the streets with my mates on a Saturday afternoon, because I think I went out to play when we were 2-0 down in that. We ended up winning 5-2. I was like, oh, that's exciting, isn't it?
It's all right. Yeah, were you at that Oxford game in the cup when we were...
Yeah.
We were 2 down, got it back to 2-2, pretended it was going to be fine, then lost anyway.
Yes.
Nice.
Typical Leeds.
Yeah. Looking down the weekend's fixtures, you got Hull, Swansea, Portsmouth, Coventry. That's where they are. Sheffield Wednesday against Stoke. They're the earlier kickoffs on Saturday. Burnley facing Watford. That'll be a tough one, I think, in a 3 o'clock kickoff. Cardiff, Sheffield United. Hopefully a tough one. We've got Oxford.
Not likely to be.
Millwall, Blackburn, Plymouth against Middlesbrough. QPR against Preston and Sunderland against Norwich, completing the Saturday fixtures. Some interesting ones this week, don't you think? It's a good chance for us to, and West Brom against Bristol on Sunday. It's a good chance for us to, I don't want to say close the gap necessarily because we might not, but maintain position, I would say, given how bad Oxford are by every metric that we've been able to turn up. And this is the dangerous area we're straying into. I've just been digging through the stats. They're 20th and they're garbage. They haven't won away all season. They've had 2 draws and 7 defeats. They beat Norwich in August, Preston late August, Stoke in mid-September, and the only team they've beaten since then was Hull on Bonfire Night, 5th of November. That's the only game they've won since mid-September. They shipped 6 goals at home to Middlesbrough last month, who attacked them. So tell me why we're not going to win this.
Leeds?
Yeah, that's the main reason for most games, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really the only reason we wouldn't.
Or
I suppose they've changed manager. They might do something different, I suppose.
The dickhead ref, potentially. We have some information here, thanks to El Loco Joe, that it's James Bell, a Sheffield Wednesday fan who reffed the Burnley defeat earlier this season. I've just looked at our TSB Plus feedback scores. James Bell got 1.3 for his performance that day.
Oh, wow.
Which was the lowest of the season.
Until
the weekend just gone, which
Busby.
was 1.12, which is really low.
Yeah, given 1 is the lowest mark you can give.
Is it? So you can't even give 0?
You can't give 0 anymore.
Okay, no. So
because,
that is the bare minimum.
I changed the scale potentially by accident. I just redid the form, didn't I? I just thought what you scoring him on 1 to 10. I didn't kind of think of 0, but it's a scale, isn't it? Don't matter. It's like turning it up to 11 we could do next year. Maybe we'll do it 0 to 11 next year.
I think we should.
TSB Plus members who use that feedback form will understand that a lot of the stuff that ends up on there is purely by luck a lot of the time.
It's a bit freeform. Sometimes, did all the subs play? Who knows? Sometimes you just can't remember either.
Oxford's characteristics, their strengths, very strong at creating long shot opportunities and coming back from losing positions. They are strong at that. So say whoscored.com. It is worth pointing out, internet charlatans, whoscored.com at that. It is worth pointing out that strengths, weaknesses and styles are calculated from statistics of each player's latest 2 seasons. So it's this season and it's last season when they got promoted.
And they've changed manager anyway.
Yeah. So this is all nonsense is what I'm saying. Weaknesses, keeping possession of the ball, defending against skillful players, defending against long shots, won't be a problem, avoiding individual errors, very weak at defending against through ball attacks, which is basically what we do. Tippy-tappy it around and then try and knock it in for either a cutback or a through ball.
We're going to be fine then.
We should be. Their style
we absolutely should be fine in this.
Their style of play, take long shots, long balls, attacking down the left, playing in their own half, non-aggressive.
Yeah, which isn't to say we will be fine. But we absolutely should be fine.
Yeah, it's got a similar sort of feeling to the Plymouth game, I think, from an emotional point of view, going into it, where you look at it as a game that we absolutely should win.
Yeah. It might be, hopefully, we'll be back in here at the weekend complaining about how boring it was, having been 3 up at half time, and we were like, it dragged a bit, didn't it, that second half, when we made 5 changes, just resting people, and Alex Cairns came on up front, and it was all a bit freeform.
I'd love Alex Cairns to come on up front. But I was looking at some of the stats involving Leeds this season when writing the Preston match report, because it kind of struck me that as kind of frustrating as it is sometimes, the season's essentially going to exactly how the club planned it. Like, we're on 2 points per game. The performance at Preston, if you look at it in terms of like the possession we had, the shots we had, it's entirely like in line with what we've been doing all season, if not slightly better it was actually. But you look at the stats in terms of like, we always have 2/3 of the ball. We always have between like 16 and 20 shots, and we always concede around like 5 or 6 shots every game. And in terms of shots we have and shots conceded, they're like completely top of the league by far. And we are really just patiently battering teams, which is strange because we do get frustrated about the style of play and stuff. But if you look at how we're actually playing, it outperforms like the rest of the league by far. And I do think some of the criticisms about Farke's football being defensive, it's like, if that's defensive, what the hell are the rest of the league doing? It's patient, definitely, and it can be cautious. But we're really not defensive at all. So let's just go stick 12 goals past the team for Christmas.
If we do manage to get up this season, then I think this season will end up being looked back on as more enjoyable than it perhaps was at the time. In much the same way that we've almost got misty-eyed about the whole Bielsa era. Like the Bielsa promotion season had some horrible moments in it.
Oh, it certainly did.
I can't remember a degree of comfort, particularly in the home games, like we've experienced this season.
It had peaks and troughs, though, didn't it? I think that's what we've not had as much under Farke. Because even when we were bad at the end of last season, I'm thinking like the Blackburn game or something, it never felt like it kind of spectacularly exploded, did it, in the same way as occasionally it did under Bielsa?
Not until QPR, I don't think.
Yeah, actually, that was the one. But that was such a one-off. It was almost, it just stood alone, and we moved on from it pretty quickly, didn't we, as well? Didn't we win the game after it or something?
Well, we smashed Norwich in the playoffs, didn't we? But aside from that, it just kind of fizzled out, didn't it? 'Cause even the playoff final was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Whereas under Bielsa, we had Derby, which was, I still don't understand to this day.
You're not supposed to. That was it was a vibe.
Yeah, I've got no intention of understanding it ever.
No. Oh, no, it's right. You're right. I still never fully processed it. It's just a thing that happened.
Yeah.
And I was there, apparently.
Yeah.
Then there was a pandemic and we had some years in the Premier League. And I don't know.
But generally came out of that feeling like it was almost like an otherworldly experience. Like, I don't know if it was adrenaline or just confusion, doubt, sadness. I couldn't tell you what I felt coming out of that.
Why was Izzy Brown there?
Came on a special team. Don't you remember?
Strange moments. Oh, so from school was in my dream. What's that about? That's all been about. I've not seen him in 20 years. That was strange. Yeah, that was Izzy Brown in that game. So are we suggesting Farke needs to? Well, Alex Cairns up front would do it.
Get him on for a late free kick.
What I will say is this, right? Oxford, will come into this game not expecting a right lot, I don't think. Their games after us, they've got Cardiff at home, then Plymouth at home. 2 teams who are around them in the table.
Should rest players.
They should definitely, because we've been talking about this across the course of this season. Are some teams almost to a certain extent, and throwing the game is perhaps too strong a language, but looking at this and going, we're probably not going to get anything there.
Allocating resources where they would best serve them.
Exactly.
And they're better off playing the kids in this.
So look after your best players, whoever they may be. Put them all on the bench.
Kemar Roof, probably their best player.
Get them all avoiding injury just to make sure. See if you can sneak something out of this. You won't. And then save them for Cardiff on Boxing Day.
I look forward to their reserves beating us.
I was going to say, I'm worried they've got a really good academy.
I'm really sad that I put that on the record now. But you look, it is just one of those games. Just get out there and bloody do it, lads.
Yeah, like you say.
Oxford in the League Cup that Sam Byram scored his first goal for Leeds.
Amazing, a little chip,
nutmeg and chip.
A
recreation of that if he's fit.
But yeah, they are one of 2 teams with no away wins. No, 3 teams, sorry, with no away wins.
Yeah. And they've lost a lot of games since late October. They drew 5 on the trot in September and October. Then they lost to Sunderland, and it's been basically wall-to-wall defeats ever since, which I suppose is what's cost the manager his job, whoever he was.
Buckingham.
Des.
Yes, that's the guy. The guy from Fleetwood Mac.
Right.
It was him. Des Buckingham of Fleetwood Mac. I might be confusing things a bit. Don't get in touch.
We are the worst people.
Well, all right, you tell us what you know about Les Des. Lindsay Buckingham.
A name like Des Buckingham, you don't get many Deses around, do you, these days? Like, Des Buckingham was a goalkeeper. I didn't know that. And he's younger than you, Michael.
He must be the youngest Des he must be the youngest Des there is.
He looks like a young man. And not, like I expected Des Buckingham to be about 60.
Yeah, he does sound, like I say, he might be the last Des.
Right.
Maybe he needs to be protected.
I mean, they've just sacked him, so they're not protecting him.
Yeah, like Gary's. None of them about either.
He's in a conservation centre as we speak.
So that's all I've got on Oxford. I know we've been hugely disrespectful, but
nobody's coming here for insight by now.
What I was going to say was, it's nice to sit here on Thursday and think, I'm looking forward to going to this game. I've got no reason to be overly worried about this, other than decades of knowing what Leeds United can occasionally do, but we're not really done it that much this season. Surely we win this.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good at home. We'll win.
Yes.
You heard it here first. Rob's definitely calling it. By how many? Will we put another 6 past them like Middlesbrough did?
Don't feel very Leedsy, that. Particularly coming into what Farke was saying today about what busy time of year it is.
5. So we get 5 up at half time, then make 5 subs at half time.
We'll have 27 shots and we'll win 2-0.
You think?
Both goals in the first half.
Serious question, what do you do with the lineup? Because he made mention in his press conference of potentially rotating the wide players. It's something he's been prone to doing this season. Maybe not elsewhere on the pitch.
Can Alex Cairns play wide? See him more as a target man.
If we keep hitting it long on crossfield balls to Cairns
Exactly.
to jump.
Who'd you have up front?
I suspect he'll go with Piroe.
Yeah.
I'd really like it to be Joseph.
I would as well, really, but I just feel he'll go Piroe in this one. Although he's talking up Bamford.
I think he's desperate to start Bamford. I really think he wants to do it. It was this time last year, wasn't it? Was it Boxing Day where he got into the team? And to be fair, for a while, really sort of kick-started our attack. I think he's really tempted to do it.
Get him in the shop window ahead of his move to Wrexham.
Well, there you go, yeah. I just think play the younger, hungrier Bamford, which is Joseph.
Yeah, and try and get him. It's a game when he should get chances. Hopefully he'll get a goal, get a bit of confidence. He's some way off the 43 goals or whatever you predicted him scoring at the start of the season, Dan.
Yeah, I feel like I probably shot my bolt a bit early with that.
He's got
got a lot of scoring to
probably
do.
manage.
It's going to be a hell of a second season.
It's going to be 2 goals,
half.
2 goals per game.
2 goals per game.
Every game.
It's what we need.
And a lot of them from the bench.
Yeah.
Mind you, if he starts getting 2 goals per game, surely he's going to start most games.
He's getting them after, isn't he?
Yeah. I suppose there is a question of one eye on Boxing Day. Does he maybe put Piroe in for this and put Joseph in for the Stoke game?
And or do we judge that Oxford are weak enough that we can rest Dan James and just keep him for a more important time?
It'd be nice to see a bit more of Ramazani.
Yeah.
I don't think Nonto has been playing great recently, so maybe Ramazani in for Nonto, if Nonto even played the last game. I can't remember.
And Aronson's the other one, because Aronson always plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he will.
I don't know. What would you do?
Well, yeah, I'd drop Aronson.
Kane's in the number 10 spot.
I'd like to see someone else have a go at number 10, because I don't think it's been working well in the last month or so.
It'd be a real message from Farke to the board, because we know he wants a number 10. If he was to play Alex Cairns there at the weekend, that's a real fuck you to Morata, isn't it?
Yeah.
Daniel, what are you doing?
You didn't get me good saying that?
If it's not Buendia, it's going to be Cairns. Up to you. Your move, dickhead.
Make it happen.
And if it accidentally works and he's fucked.
But did he mention in the press? I wasn't fully listening to it, which is not great as research for this show. What was he saying about Ampadu isn't ready to start yet? Because I wonder, is there an option maybe you stick Ampadu back in and then push Rothwell forward? And but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, he was suggesting that people who've been playing in Ampadu's position have been doing very well, and Ampadu needs more time.
Right.
So I dare say he'll come on again, probably. Try and build his fitness up slowly. Or he starts because Pascal Strauch is injured.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that he'll leave Aronson in. I don't think you'll see any change.
I think he will as well.
Because he's quite conservative as a coach, is Farke. So
I put in the match report they should just start Aronson and Joseph for the next few games, and they've got until January to show who shouldn't be replaced, basically. So I think there's an argument that you get a 10 or a 9. Obviously, both would be amazing, but that'd be very greedy.
And I suppose that could be the issue with Nonto's slightly patchier form, is that he's been in and out. He hasn't been. He hasn't had a consistent run of it. Just in a bid to keep everybody fit and keep rotating the wide men.
Yeah, possibly. I think we'll see more rotation of the attacking players, whether or not it's Solomon or Ramazani, or I just think he'll do something there just to keep it fresh.
Wow,
Solomon will play one.
Good insight, Michael.
Well,
he'll do something.
Well, it's just what he's doing, isn't it? People go in and out of it, and they're good. They're good to start. They're good off the bench. We've just got loads of good attacking wide players, haven't we? So it's fine. I'm kind of all right with whatever he decides to throw at this one, because we're being all cocky because it's Oxford, as I was in 1994 or whatever. I turned up and watched Oxford beat us when we were in the Premier League.
I'm just having a look. When was the last time we had a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday? Is it the
1994?
Swansea, that was a Sunday. Is it the QPR game at home?
It's been a while.
Start of November. Could be, yeah.
It's the same for everyone in the Championship now, though. I mean, I know where we are in a worse position than most because of our games getting moved. But there are, I mean, what were those nonsense games you said were kicking off early this weekend?
There was 3 because of the Sky Sports Plus deal.
Stuff no one wants to see.
There are always at least 3 games on at lunchtime on a Saturday now.
Yeah.
Which, again, there's no excuse for it. Just end the 3 p.m. blackout. Don't pretend anymore. It's stupid.
Yeah, it does feel inconvenient.
Nobody's watching Hull versus Swansea. Nobody.
God, no.
Not even Hull fans.
No. That's a dire game. Don't even film that. Not even for highlights purposes. It's a waste of tape. I assume it's what they film it on.
Yes, they know they do. Yeah. Very much use the old tape. Do you have anything else to add then? Leeds versus Oxford. We've been ridiculously cocky. All of us expecting a home win. Some spectacular egg on face potential, but whatever. Doesn't matter, does it?
That's just the case until the end of the season, isn't it? So.
Yeah, I mean, this is of all the games left this season, this is the most. This is the biggest banker, probably.
The most
isn't it?
eggy facey.
Yeah, it's also the biggest banker.
See, I don't like it now you've said that, and you will be betting on Oxford, so
I will absolutely, particularly because they are
14, 12.
You can get them at 22 to 1.
Fucking hell,
really? I mean, that is good.
Stick a fiver on for me.
22 to 1 in the same division.
In effectively a 2.5 horse race.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
There you go.
Wow.
Well, we'll be cheering on Oxford at the weekend. We'll all have £50 on it.
Yeah. Oh, dear me. Right then, so we're all going for home win. It does have the potential to spectacularly backfire, but you know what? Doesn't matter, does it? Only a bit of daft podcasting.
We'll be wrong. The bookies will be wrong. But we'll all be wrong together.
Right. That's as the song goes. All being wrong.
Is that a Des Buckingham song?
Right. We will wrap it up there then. Cheers for joining us on this. We'll be back with Aidan White Christmas. Aidan White Christmas is coming up.
Very good. Very good.
on Friday.
Well done, Alan.
We'll get a bit festive. Yeah, very partridge that. And match ball after the Oxford victory. See you then. Bye.
The Square Ball Podcast.